Hey everybody, it's Mr. S, and I'm here to talk to you guys about a topic that's very serious and a topic that many parents and teachers have issues with. Behavioral intervention and working with children with challenging behaviors. Now, before I just jump into things, the one thing that I want parents to know, and I get asked this quite often because they seem to be scared to talk about it. Spanking is okay. Form of physical discipline is okay as long as there's no marks left behind or any kind of bruises. It's okay. Now, that's by the law. Now, do I think it's okay to use this form of discipline? No, I really don't. I don't think this form of discipline really achieves what you really want from the child. What I've noticed is this form of discipline only works to suppress a child until they feel that they are powerful enough to push back. So by using physical force, we're only teaching children that when something is not done the way we want it to be done, that we should use physical force to force someone to do what we want them to do because we're bigger than them. Now, we want children to respect people and do things because they respect that person, they trust that person. Now, it's hard for children to build this trust if they're having issues respecting them. If children don't respect me, I can't expect them to do what I need them to do. That's why it's really relevant that I can work with 20 children and I don't have to spank any of them, yet they listen to me. Now, it does help that in a classroom environment, the classroom is set up so that children will succeed. So it's not like an environment for like a bank or a store where everything the children touch could potentially be bad. In the child center, everything's there for a purpose. Everything has a reason. It's there because it's there for the children to use and utilize. In the real world, things don't always work out that way. However, we still don't have to push our limits and our patience to get children to do what we need them to do. Sometimes when I see a child with a challenging behavior, I like to step back and think, what is the root of the problem? Because normally it's not the child. So I like to think of it as the environment. So if this child's having a really hard time sitting in circle, is it the child that's having a hard time, or is it me holding them there and saying you have to sit here at circle? And what is it achieving? Because I'll give you a good example. We had a child that got up from circle and he went to the art area. I could easily said, stop my circle time, looked at the child, got up, worked with him, talked, tried to get him back to the circle, but I didn't. I let him go. Now, what he ended up doing was really amazing. He ended up drawing a picture for one of the associates and said that I drew this for you. Now, that would have never happened if I would have told him to sit back down, or if I would have told the associate, go ahead and go get him, because she wanted to go get him, but I told her to stop. And this kind of experience really probably helped this child, because he was expressing that this is one of the children with the challenging behaviors that he just wants sometimes that a little bit of extra attention, a little bit of extra love. And because I allowed him to give that extra love, in the end, it's going to cause less issues later on, because I can remind him, hey, remember when you made that really cool picture this morning and you gave it to my staff? I go, how did that make you feel? So it helps him see that, it's not always being a bad person, because you don't know what they're thinking. You don't know what's going through their mind when they're doing something. Sometimes it's because they need attention. And some of the challenging behavior children that I have, there's been cases where the father's not around, or the mother has to work double time, double shift, so she's never home. So the child goes from school to daycare and goes home, sees mom for maybe half an hour, goes to bed, and that's it. So how would you feel if your parent, the person that's supposed to be with you all the time, is not there? You would feel a sense of abandonment. And that's what these children are feeling. They're feeling a sense of abandonment. And their only way to make up for it is to act out. To act out in ways that they can get their frustration out. Now, of course, it's something we need to work on. But remember, it's not always the child. And sometimes it's not even the parents, okay? It's just the situations that we're put in. because sometimes these parents don't want to work 2 jobs. They wish they could be home with their kids. That's why they have them, to be there. But circumstances change. Things don't always go the way we see them. Some people are together, have a child, and then their marriage just doesn't work out. So it's very important that we don't label the child and tell them they're bad, or no one likes you, or things like that, because these words only perpetuate the violent behavior. We want them to know that somebody cares about them, that somebody cares about them, and that's what matters, is care. I can tell you right now, I went to a classroom that they said was the toughest classroom in this center that I work at, and that it was just going to be a challenge and terrible. And I went in, and I've changed it a lot. Yes, there's still days where we have hard times, and Mr.S feels like giving up, but I don't give up, and I keep my patience, and I keep going, and I help these children understand that I love them no matter what. And I always tell them, hey, I love you, buddy. I know you're upset, but remember that I still love you. And they'll tell me, I don't love you, and I don't care about you, but I still tell them every day, I still love you. And what you'll see is, over time, they come for you, and they will start changing. Like, I have a friend, one of these children, I call all the children friends. I have a little friend, and something happened at the garden, and he was very upset, and he wanted so bad to go in that garden. But I asked him, find a new place, walk around the playground. After you walk around and cool off, I'll let you come back in. He didn't want to, and he was telling me, no, I don't care, but he was just there. And finally, he went off, he came back, he said, Mr.S, can I come back in now? I said, yeah. And he had a good day. The rest of the day was awesome for him in the garden and everything else. But it was me being patient with him, and me allowing him to get his frustration out and cool off. That was the key. It was patience. Every child needs care. That's the essential, that's the ingredient to child development. Care. When children don't care, they seem to just do whatever they want, because why? They don't care. They have no fear of anybody. They don't fear anything. And so when a child cares, they fear to lose your confidence. They fear to lose your opinion. And that's what matters to them most. I don't want this person to be upset with me because I care about them. When we care about people, we do everything we can to protect them because we want to. When we fear people, we do things because we're scared of what they're going to do to us. But when we find out that they have no power, we stop doing what they ask us to do. That's the difference. If you spank and discipline your children now, what's going to happen later on is when they know that you're not strong anymore, or you're not going to hit them anymore, they stop listening to you. But if a child respects you, a child wants to know what you think, a child knows that there's a mutual sense of agreement, then they will always respect you. They will always look up to you, instead of look up to you until they have the upper hand and then have nothing to do with you. So I think it's important that we all think about what's going on right now in the lives of our children. What is happening to them? Is there some kind of divorce? Was there a death? What has caused them to act out? What has caused them to be upset and angry? Because as adults, we get upset and angry all the time, but we have ways of controlling it. Some people go to the gym. Some people play video games. Some people read books. These are tools and things children don't necessarily have available to them. So they can't just look for an alternative outing, or they can't look for some way to get all this out. They have to rely on what they have. And what they have is their bodies, their voices. And they're going to use them to get attention and tell you what they need. So now that I've talked a lot about it, I'm going to give you guys the most simple guideline I can possibly give you to kind of eliminate a lot of behavioral problems. And this has helped me from the beginning of teaching, and it'll help me from the end of time. 2 choices. What that means is give children 2 choices. Instead of saying, you're going to do this, or I need you to do this, give them 2 choices. So if you need them to go to the car, say, would you like to jump to the car, or do you want to walk to the car? And that just right there, that little piece is going to help you guys so much. Or if you want them to clean the floor, would you want to clean your superhero toys first, or do you want to clean your dolls first? Which one do you want to do first? I'd like to clean the dolls up first, but maybe the superhero ones would be fun too. And now you're going to do both, but you've given them a choice and you've given them an option. So one really cool thing is give children choices, give children options, and just see where that takes you. Because when children feel empowered and children feel self-worth, there's a lot of positive things come out of that. Thank you everybody for listening to my video. If you guys have any questions or any comments, feel free to ask away, and I'll continue on the conversation of behavioral intervention another day. Thank you everybody.